Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to the channel. You know, it's your boy Anime King, and as I promised, I'm going to be doing part 16 of What If Naruto was Madara's grandson. I'm going to be giving you guys part 16 today. The like goal to see the next part for this one is 280 likes. Get this one to 280 likes and you'll be getting the next part as soon as possible. Comment as much as you guys can down below. If you're a new subscriber, comment down below and tell me. I'll be replying and talk to you all. And yeah, the funniest comment gonna be pinned or the nicest comment about the video. So yeah guys, without further ado, let's get straight into it. And yeah, share this on all the social media platforms. Straight into the what if. Start the intro. So, to do a little bit of a recap, Team 7 has joined up and Sasuke and Rock Lee fought in the last one, but Sasuke got his ass beat by Rock Lee until guys stopped the match and everything. Naruto didn't stay to watch the match because he already knew what would happen because of Rock Lee's speed and Sasuke's Sharingan being too weak to counter it. So, in the last part, Sasuke asked Kabuto questions about Naruto, the paper with Naruto information on it, but Naruto ended up burning the paper and said he'd rather keep his information secret for now. He walked toward them with another smile on his face as he twirled a kunai on his left hand. Wait, he looks familiar, Tamari said, making her brother turn his head to see. What do you mean? Kankuro asked. Without taking her eyes off of Naruto, she said, I've seen his picture somewhere, but for the love of me, I cannot remember where. Meanwhile, a grin had spread over Gaara's lips as he smiled a scary-ass smile and said, Mother wants his blood. Naruto kept walking, then he sensed an incoming attack right at his direction. It was not just him who sensed the attack, so did Kabuto. Both of them turned around to find a sound ninja with spiky dark hair jump in the air and fired a couple of kunais at them, which they easily dodged. Suddenly, a second sound ninja appeared right in front of Kabuto with a strange device on his left arm. Naruto figured out that the attack was focused on Kabuto. He watched with interest as the sound ninja, wrapped up in bandages, looked like a mummy, swing his left arm in Kabuto's face, which Kabuto dodged with ease. Naruto felt disturbance in the air between the mummy ninja and Kabuto. Naruto wondered what was this disturbance. Then he heard Kabuto's glass crack and he focused his eyes and saw the glasses drop off of Kabuto. Naruto then focused on the sound ninja who had swung his arm in Kabuto's face. He had an earmuff and his arm had on a metal gauntlet on it. He is doing something with the ear or the sound, because he didn't physically attack him, something with that gauntlet. Alright, that's enough. Quiet down, you little bastard. A rough voice spoke up. There was a puff of smoke in the front of the room. When it cleared, it reveals a man with a huge scar on his face and in a black trench coat. I am Moreno Ibaki, the proctor for this exam. So, as long as I'm here, there will be no fighting. Do I make myself clear? The man asked while glancing at Kabuto and the sound ninja. Sorry, we got too excited. The sound throwing genin spoke insincerely. Get your seat numbers and shut up, Ibaki yelled. And everyone obeyed, taking the numbers by his assistants. The rules of the exams are follows, and there will be no questions. He then went on to explain the rules. No talking, If you're caught cheating, you will lose 2 points off of each offense. The test is a team test. The overall score will be calculated by all of the team members, adding together to make them equal. Those who do not answer the questions or leave any question not answers or fail the exam will fail as a team. He then went on to explain the thing that each member must get 10 points to equal the 30 overall. Yeah, so we explained all of the rules to them, and everyone sit down and have a piece of paper in front of them. I expect nothing but the best from you ninjas trying to become chonins, Aibaki said with a smirk. The exam will last for an hour. Now, everyone, begin. The first part of the exam was boring, Naruto thought. I'm not gonna bother explaining this part because you guys already know about the 30 thing and each member must get at least 10 points, so I'm not gonna really explain this part. I'm just gonna fly through the exam right here, guys. So Team 7 is gonna run through the exam and they're all going to pass. The same things gonna happen in the original, so they're all gonna pass. So skip to training era 44. Alright maggots, this is the place of the second test. Era 44, known as the Forest of Death. The proctor for the second test said it was Anko, a special chonin. She prepared to cut the numbers of them in half because it was a lot of them who passed the first test. So she was determined to cut them in half. Naruto wasn't disturbed by her behavior, but he carefully took notes at Kabuto's hidden agenda, and he sensed a female grass ninja, and something was up with her. Something was wrong. She is very good at concealing her true strength because she is very much stronger than this, and her chakra is like she's holding back. Because if she wanted to release all of her chakra, it will easily be at a cage level. And she looked very interested in Sasuke for some reason. Naruto wasn't paying attention, so Anko decided to throw a kunai right at him, but he dodged it pretty easily. Anko disappeared, using the body flicker jutsu, appeared right behind Naruto and hold on to him and put a kunai right at his throat, but his hand was in the way and he grabbed it and said, "I'm getting pretty bored, why don't you go on with the subject?" "You spoiled brat," Anko said, but she felt something creeping up behind her, and then she turned around to fire the kunai in her left hand at it. When she turned around and fired it, it was the grass ninja. A female grass ninja grabbed her kunai with her tongue, yes, a very long tongue, grabbed it and said, "Here is your kunai back, Anko." Anko looked at the grass ninja and said, "I am feeling some weird vibes." She thought this in her head. She didn't really say it out loud because she was feeling something weird coming off of the grass ninja. Something wasn't right about her. But she decided to play it off as nothing and said, "Do not sneak upon me or you will die." The grass ninja offered back the kunai to Anko. Anko swiped it from her, showing no disturbance of the large tongue. She pocketed the kunai and returned to standing in front of all of them again. "Okay, your task is to enter this area and get another scroll from others. Remember, to complete this test, you must pass and have both scrolls, heaven and earth, with your teammates alive. And within 5 days, you have to show up at the central station. That is the finishing line of this test. Before you enter, you will sign special forms that my colleagues are giving you," she said. "Why should we sign special forms?" some Genins asked. "The reason why is to state that the leaf isn't responsible for your death or if you get injured, and lots of that will surely occur during this test." Lots of the others Genin get pale and they were worried. Death or injured? Sakura's nervousness got shot up too, but she held it back as much as she can. She knew that Sasuke and Naruto will be there to watch her back. Team 7 was waiting in front of one of the gates of Era 44 when a leaf shinobi got there and opened the gates. A red flare shot up in the sky Good luck, the shinobi said as he closed the gate behind them. Team 7 and other teams shot up in the trees. Naruto and his team is walking. I thought we would meet some challenge by now, but all we meet is some idiot rain ninjas who ran away when things got tough. All of them are real letdowns, Naruto thought. It had been about 3 hours since they entered the forest and nothing had really happened. He was seriously starting to get bored. No one was challenging him. I am going to scout out the area, Naruto said, and before the two of them could reply, he was gone. What do you think happened to Naruto after graduation? Sakura asked, turning to Sasuke. I don't know, Sasuke responded. Then he started to think how Naruto acted before they graduated from the academy. But he was completely cut off when suddenly he felt something. Sakura, move out of the way, he said. Both of them jumped off the path and suddenly some sort of wind burst through the air. Wind attack came from nowhere. Sasuke looked up and tried to find out who just attacked them. Meanwhile, Naruto is standing in front of a giant snake who tried to eat him. It was completely covered in white flames. Snake, Orochimaru. So it was him who had been following us, but Naruto burned the snake with his white flames, killing it instantly. Naruto then think to himself, so Orochimaru's here. Deiki, he summoned Deiki. Deiki rose up from the ground. Get ready, it's time to suit up. Deiki nodded and then turned into a semi-liquid form and started to wrap around Naruto. Ryu will appear soon, Naruto said as Deiki completely covered him. Skipping to Sasuke and Sakura, the strange grass ninja who was there pulled out a strange scroll from her pouch, giving it to Sakura and Sasuke to see. You guys want this, right? An earth scroll, since you have an heaven scroll. As soon as she finished, she ended up swallowing the scroll whole, right before their eyes. Both of them turned light green and looked like they wanted to puke. That is disgusting, Sasuke thought. Now we can fight for these scrolls with our lives on the line. When she finished, she released a killer intent, sending the killer intent to the both of them. The moment the intent reached them, the both of them gasped and they fell to their knees, shaking, and it was hard to breathe. It was like they were trapped under some kind of genjutsu. They could see this grass ninja using a long sword, killing the both of them, brutally ripping the both of them apart, and it was a gruesome death. The images of death lasted some several seconds before they disappeared. But they still couldn't move. They didn't know what was going on. What? This is not a genjutsu, Sasuke thought. Her killing intent was so strong, it showed images of my death. I never felt something like this before, not even with that time with Zabuza. Then he turned and saw that Sakura was doing even worse than he was. She was on the ground shivering. She was just shivering all over as tears ran down her cheeks. She couldn't even respond to him when he was calling out to her. Well, it seems like none of you can move. I expected a challenge, the woman said with a frown on her face. I guess I'll just get rid of you now. She pulled out 2 kunais and turned her back and flung it at them without even looking at them. Come on, move! I have to move, Sasuke struggled and tried to move the hand that had his kunai in it. Come on, move, he said. At the very last moment, he managed to stab himself in the leg and getting over this fear and grabbing Sasuke and moving back from the scary lady. I see, so he managed to use pain to get rid of my fear. The strange grass ninja licked her lips. Sasuke stopped behind a tree when he felt that they got in a safe distance away. He stopped behind a branch, pulling the kunai out of his legs. His Sharingan started to spin as he was in fear, looking around for the strange lady. Sasuke, your leg looked pretty bad, Sakura said as she looked at the wound. Sasuke's leg was bleeding hard. Sasuke just quickly covered her mouth with his hands as he searched for the woman. What? I never seen Sasuke this scared before, Sakura thought in surprise. It was then she noticed a large snake above them, getting ready to devour the two of them. She tried to warn Sasuke but couldn't because of the hand on her mouth. She finally get over her fear from the killer intent and grabbed Sasuke's hand and moved away from her mouth. Sasuke, a snake above us. He turned and saw it in seconds, grabbed Sakura and jumped off the branch. The snake completely destroyed the tree, smashed into it and turned into pieces. He then set down Sakura on the ground and jumped away because the snake seemed to follow him. Damn it, I was so scared. I wasn't looking around my surroundings, he said damn it as he cursed himself. He grabbed 7 shuriken and started to fling them at the snake, aiming at his head to kill it. He was relieved as the snake started to hiss and began to fall. Then, to his horror, the scales on the snake began to crack and revealed the woman that was chasing him earlier. She came out of the snake and started grinning at the both of them. You two shouldn't even relax for a moment. I will always be watching you. She began to slither across a tree branch, but then suddenly she was stopped by a powerful wind blade cutting the branch right in front of her. Interesting, a voice spoke from above. She looked up and Sasuke and Sakura looked up too and saw Ryu standing on the branch. Well, what are you doing here? The grass ninja asked as she recognized this person from the bingo book. Orochimaru, what are you doing here? Don't tell me that they taken the legendary Sannin title from you and demoted you to this. Ryu mocked. Sakura was pale because she heard the name that Ryu just said. Everyone had heard of Orochimaru, a genius shinobi who had been trained by the third Hokage a long time, and then he left the village to become a road ninja, and he was experiment under the village because the third Hokage found Orochimaru doing some crazy experiment and cutting people's bodies up on those things, but he escaped before the third Hokage could find him or anything. The third Hokage was shot by its lab, and for a long time the third Hokage blamed himself for making Orochimaru turn evil for some reason, even though it wasn't his fault. Orochimaru vanished and appeared in front of Ryu. Watch your mouth, brat, kicking him in the ribs. But to his surprise, Ryu dissolved in a flock of murderous crows. What? Genjutsu? He quickly turned around to look, but he didn't see anyone around him. But then he heard Ryu's voice behind him. Fire release. Phoenix Sage Flower Jutsu. Ryu then fired fireballs small. It was like a flock of bees heading right to Orochimaru. He couldn't evade all of them. But Orochimaru wasn't a legendary Sannin for nothing. He evaded the attack, but barely. I didn't think that I've ever seen this attack so powerful before. He looked at the ground to see all of the destroyed tree branches, and then he looked up at Ryu. Thank you for the compliment, Orochimaru, but you should never take your eyes off your opponent. Suddenly, appearing right beside Orochimaru with black lightnings flowing off of his arm and his back, he punched Orochimaru right in the stomach, sending him flying backwards. Anko sitting by herself as she relaxed and took another sip of her juice, sitting and relaxing. As she went to go and finish the rest of her dango or meal, once she is done with this, she guessed that she will head off to the tower. Since in this program, the fast ones that would go through the exam quicker would need about 24 hours, she took the last bite of dango off the stick and tossed the stick in a nearby tree. The stick must be covered in about 40 sticks that she finished dango off of, and they all were shaped in a special form of the Leaf Ninja headband sign. Leaf mark complete, she said, as she took the last sip of her juice, tossed the cup in a nearby trash can, and hopped to her feet. Anko then saw one of the examinees running towards her and said he was out of breath and he was hissing and everything. And Anko said, "What is the problem?" He took a big deep breath and said, "Dead bodies." And she said, "What? Dead bodies?" He said, "Yes, we found 3 dead bodies in there. Please come with me, it's easier to show you." He then led her to a place where 2 other Chunin was there standing up, and there were 3 dead bodies right on the ground. Anko looked at the bodies and said, "Weird. This is weird." She put her fingers on her chin to start thinking. She walked up closer to look at the bodies. After examining their paper and their items, they seemed to be the hidden grass ninjas that were here to take part in the exam. But when one of the Chunins turned over the body to show Anko they had no faces, it was as if their faces were melted off. Anko's eyes widened as the words that the Chunin were telling her come together in her mind. There were no mistaking of it. This jutsu is his. Why is he in the exam? Then she started to think about her old master who had betrayed her and the village. Her head jerked back and looked at the Chunin. "Show me the picture of these 3. The Chunin then handed the picture to Anko. Anko then gasped in horror as she saw the creepy grass ninja who was outside who caught the kunai with her long tongue. He stole this face. So he was already here for a long time. This is bad. No, this is bad. What is going on?" one of the Chunin said. Anko turned to look at him and said, "You guys, go and report the Hokage of this. Send some envoy captains to the Forest of Death." She ordered. "I am going after them right now." The Chunin nodded and left Anko and do what they were told. Anko jumped the fence into the forest and Gan jumped from tree to tree. She raced in fear and anger. Sasuke and Sakura stood there watching the fight. They saw Orochimaru came out, bruised, battered, bloody, but he was still alive. His fake face has been shredded because of Ryu's early attack. He looked much different than before. You can see the real Orochimaru face right now. "You are good, I must admit it, Ryu," Orochimaru said, giving him a creepy smile. "And you are sneaky like a snake," Ryu said. Before Orochimaru could even move or reply, a second Ryu appeared right behind him and shoved his hand right through Orochimaru's chest with the black lightning covering it. Because the real Orochimaru had already run away from here, the clone said. Instead of blood, mud seeped from his wounds. Ryu clone pulled back his hands and the snake turned in pure mud. Ryu turned at the 2 members of Team 7 and saw that they were looking at him with fear. "A word of advice, when you see an opponent much stronger than you and you cannot fight him, run like the wind," he said as he noticed only Sakura listening carefully. "He who fights and runs away managed to live another day. It is not cowardness, it's a tactical withdrawal." As soon as he finished talking, Sasuke pulled out a kunai and shouted, "Ryu, fight me! I want to test my power." Ryu stopped and then he think to himself, "I don't think he get it." He looked at Sasuke. "My long distance cousin, come back later when you are capable to fight." He took a pause and then thinking something. "Wait, Gaara." Ryu smirked. Sasuke shouted, Sharingan spinning rapidly in his both eyes. Ryu shake his head. "Well, there's go my genius master plan to avoid Sasuke." He stared down at Sasuke with his Sharingan eyes and cast a genjutsu on him. As Sasuke felt his eyelids started to get heavy before falling on the ground unconscious. "Sasuke!" Sakura shouted, seeing Sasuke collapse on the ground unexpectedly. "Take him with you," Ryu said to Sakura, who nodded her head in fear. Then he began to swirl away in one of those vortex. and sucked up right in his eyes. With an evil smirk, he vanished. But guys, I'm gonna end right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you know what to do. Like and subscribe, get this one past like goal. Comment down below guys, turn on that bell notification, stay posted. But I'm out for now guys. Peace.